Hey, Deirdre Burnette here, founder of LifeCoachNation. I wanted to talk a little bit about my story. Okay, my story as a watchman. All right, and I am like free flowing here, so I don't have any notes, so I'm gonna work my way through. All right, so I'll say back in 2000, the year 2000, I heard the Lord say when I was at work one day, he said, I have called you to be a watchman. It's just like a perceived thought dropped down in my spirit. And I said, and it stopped me because I know, I said, a watchman. I said, what's a watchman? So I just like got on the computer and I said, watchman. So I didn't really like in 2000, the year 2000, I mean, it wasn't a whole lot of stuff out there. I didn't see a whole lot of stuff. So I was just like, all right. Well, I did see this one website. It was Barbara Williams, Pastor Barbara Williams, the Ministry of the Watchman. And I did scroll through there a little bit. But because I didn't really have an understanding, I just like kept going. But I have come to learn that her website is really good. She's a very good teacher on the Watchman. So I kept it going and I just put it like in my back pocket. You know, I was just like, well, I don't know what to do with this. So I just kept living life. But little did I know when the Lord said, I have called you to be a watchman. Number one, I had already been covertly trained as a kid and I didn't even really know. I had been trained in areas. Now, it wasn't perfected, but I had been through a certain level of training. So when he said, I have called you to be a watchman, little did I know that number two, I was getting ready to go on a ride, okay? I was getting ready to go on a ride. So my life it was normal, you know, just kept going on. I had gotten married around that time too. So life was just, you know, moving and moving and moving. But little did I know that number three, the training of a watchman is rigorous, okay? It is rigorous because you become your message. You become the message. I mean, he has to like ring you, pull you, and cleanse you. I mean, you go through like a total makeover. So, and I'm saying this because I'm looking back in hindsight. I didn't put definitions to it while I was going through it because I was totally unaware of what I was going through. So I went through deliverance trainings. I went through seasons when I was a deliverance minister. I went through seasons of, oh my goodness, anguish, heartbreak. I went through seasons, just all kind of seasons, but it was preparing me for such a time as this. So by the time I began to know that I had a post and to know that I was assigned to a certain subcategory, because as a watchman, you are a watchman, okay? You are a watchman called by the Lord, but he gives you a subcategory. He gives you a people that you are to watch over or to guard or to intercede for. And it may not be a people, it could be your family. It could be one person. You could be a watchman for whatever the Lord has given you to be a watchman over. Okay, you could be a watchman over a region. You could be a watchman probably over a lake. You know what I'm saying? Just to keep the spiritual balance of that area, of that territory. I mean, whatever the Lord has given you to be a watchman over, it's personalized to you. All right. So I realized that my subcategory was to the daughters of Zion, was to women. You know what I mean? So that's my subcategory. But I am a watchman overall. But my subcategory is the sphere of influence that he has given me authority and grace to watch over and to cover. All right. So my walk as a watchman has been tedious, but it was rewarding. Now the warfare is hard. Okay, the warfare to become who I had to become, to watch over even my subcategory, I had to become that. I had to go through a lot of that. I had to walk it out. I basically walked it out, okay? Because I couldn't be a vessel that he used to go to a certain category and I don't know anything about the vessel. Okay? I don't know anything about the struggle. I don't know anything about the people or the person or the thing that I'm being sent to. Then guess what? Unless he gives me like a word of knowledge or a word of wisdom, then I'm done. Okay? Like I used to say back in the day with like math, I had this friend who was like a math, had a degree in math. And I mean, you could like give her an equation, and because she knew how to do that thing, and it didn't matter how you threw the numbers at her, she was able to work it out in her head. Now, and when I was growing up and stuff, math wasn't my strong subject. So if it didn't come at a certain way, it was going to like tangle me up. You know what I mean? I'm not going to see it to the right and to the left and up and down like a person who's trained to see that thing. So when it had to come at me, it had to come in like a layman's term so that I could like understand. You know what I'm saying? So whenever you become that watchman and you get that subcategory, you're going to be able to see it from the left, from the right, up, down, around, from the back with your eyes closed. You're going to be able to see that thing because you have lived that thing, you have eaten that thing, you have slept that thing, you have swallowed the scroll, okay? You have swallowed the scroll. All right? So yeah, whenever you are in training to be a watchman, just get ready because you're going to be trained according to your sphere, according to your assignment. So with me as a watchman, I made it. I made it, and I'm here for such a time as this. And with that being said, I do have a Watchman on the Wall Man Your Post training manual that I wrote, and it is on Amazon. So if you would like to purchase that, please do. And also I penned a book called Culture That Kills. And this is about seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. And this is under my pen name, Naomi Watchman. So this is a good book also. So during the time of my Watchman beginnings, when I was aware that something just wasn't right because this is too much heat, I penned this book right here. All right, because at that point the Lord was giving me this sphere to write about. You know what I'm saying? So then like later on, like a year or so ago, but I think I started writing this book probably about like 2 years ago, and I got it published like last year. So yeah, so it's different seasons. So in my walk as a watchman and everything, I've gone through different seasons. I'm not going to get deep into the personal areas of my walk because that's a whole nother video, and it can go for a long time. That can be a whole series, But as far as my position as a watchman and your position as a watchman, I just want you to know that you are an overall watchman, but you will have a subcategory. Perhaps not every watchman, but I believe that you will have a subcategory. So thank you for listening and thank you for watching. And until we meet again, thank you.